Monthly TA highlights. May 2025.
A child care business owner reached out to us inquiring about a reasonable modification of policy, practice, and procedures, and a child who has epilepsy. The child care center has nurses who are trained to administer medications, but wanted to know if they should not allow the child to come in the center if their nurses aren't able, or if they needed to shut down the center for the day in order to treat every child the same. Reasonable modifications are limited to fundamental alterations, and it's not always necessary for trained medical personnel to administer medication, where some medications can be administered through trained liaisons. The ADA would not require the center to shut down for the day, and that action may likely be viewed as voluntary, and that as a civil rights law denying access to all children for a given period of time may likely not be viewed as discrimination on the basis of disability. An ADA coordinator contacted us inquiring about if a building entrance of a Title III homeless shelter that is contracted by a Title II entity was exempt via safe harbor from the requirement to provide an accessible entrance due to the fact that the building itself was constructed in the 1960s. Safe harbor is only intended to apply to elements of facilities that were accessible to the 1991 standards that are no longer accessible to the 2010 ADA standards, and that the age of the building does not exempt it from ADA compliance obligations. The Title III entity is held to the readily achievable barrier removal threshold, and the Title II entity is to ensure that their programs are accessible, including through their contractual arrangements to carry out aspects of their programs. An employee with a disability reached out to us to inquire if working from home can be considered a reasonable accommodation. In order to start the reasonable accommodations process, you would need to notify the employer about your disability and what reasonable accommodations requests you are inquiring about. This process must be interactive with either your supervisor or your HR person. According to the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission, or EEOC, allowing an employee to work at home or telework may be a reasonable accommodation where the person's disability prevents successfully performing the job on site, and the job or parts of the job can be performed at home without causing significant difficulty or expense.